There was a time when I woke up every day with a strange weight in my chest. It wasn't exactly sadness, and it wasn't physical fatigue either. It was something deeper, as if my mind never stopped, even when my body was resting. Every morning followed the same pattern: wake up, grab the phone, rush to work, and try to fix everything that went wrong the day before. And at night, even when I was exhausted, my thoughts wouldn't let me rest. What if it all goes wrong? What if I lose everything? What if I'm not enough? I thought that was normal, that being tired all the time was just part of adult life. But one afternoon, during coffee with a friend, he looked at me calmly and said, "You're not tired. You're just living the wrong way." Those words echoed inside me for days. I began to realize that my exhaustion didn't come from the body, it came from the mind. It was the constant what if, the fear of tomorrow, the obsession with control. I wasn't really living. I was surviving inside my own thoughts. And the more I tried to manage everything, the further peace slipped away. That's when I discovered Buddhism, not as a religion, but as a mirror that showed me how trapped I was in things that hadn't even happened yet. The first truth I learned was simple: worry is a thief. It steals from you twice, once in your imagination and again in your reality. And most of the time, the second theft never happens because the problem never becomes real, but the mind has already suffered. That's when it hit me. I wasn't tired of life. I was tired of my own thinking. The first lesson Buddhism taught me was to stop fighting what I couldn't control. I always wanted life to follow my script, my timing, my expectations, but life doesn't read our plans. It turns the page when it wants to, and we waste our strength trying to tear out the ones we didn't like. A monk once told me, "You suffer because you're swimming against the river. If you just float, you'll see the river was never against you." Those words changed everything. I started to accept things as they were, to see that refusing reality doesn't change it. It only makes the pain last longer. Acceptance isn't giving up. It's stopping the waste of energy on what's impossible. It's opening space to breathe and respond with calm instead of panic. Peace doesn't come when everything is perfect. Peace begins the moment you stop trying to fix everything little by little. I loosened my grip on control, and slowly the storms that once consumed me lost their power. Not because they disappeared, but because I stopped giving them permission to rule my mind. Maybe you feel the same right now, exhausted, not from living, but from resisting. If this story resonates with you, stay with me. This space is where we learn to breathe again, to look within, to find the peace that was never gone, only hidden. Subscribe if you wish, but more than that, pause for a second and notice what your heart feels right now. That awareness is already the beginning of your healing. The next shift I experienced came through gratitude. I used to think gratitude was just a word people used in quotes or calendars. But when I practiced it honestly, it changed the lens through which I saw the world. Gratitude isn't a polite thank you. It's a way of seeing. When your mind is full of fear, all it can see is what's missing. But when you practice appreciation, fear starts to fade. Every morning, before touching my phone, I whispered 3 things I was thankful for. Sometimes it was small. The smell of coffee, the silence before sunrise, a kind word from someone I loved, but those moments slowly rewired my mind. I realized you can't be truly grateful and truly worried at the same time. They don't coexist. One breathes life, the other suffocates it. The more I practiced gratitude, the lighter everything felt. The world didn't change. I did. Then I noticed another invisible weight, the need to please everyone. I had spent years trying to make everyone like me, understand me, approve of me, but that desire is a quiet kind of prison. You begin to shape-shift just to be accepted. You silence your own truth so you won't be judged. Then I read a story about a man who went to the Buddha and complained, "No matter what I do, someone criticizes me." And the Buddha replied, "Even I am praised by some and condemned by others. Why should it be any different for you?" That truth broke my chains. Trying to please everyone is abandoning yourself a little more each day. From then on, whenever I faced a decision, I asked, does this bring peace to my heart, or does it just make others happy? That question became my compass. My body, too, had been speaking all along. I just wasn't listening. My back hurt, my breathing was shallow, my chest heavy. Buddhism taught me that the body and the mind are not separate. When the mind is restless, the body cries out. When the body moves, the mind calms. So I started walking. No headphones, no destination, just me, the street, and the sound of my own steps. At first it felt pointless. Then, slowly, it became medicine. Every step released a thought I no longer needed. Every breath forgave something I didn't know I was holding. I didn't need to run to heal. I just needed to walk in peace. If your mind feels loud, try this. Walk in silence. Feel the ground beneath you. Let your body lead your mind home. If this story touches you, share your own in the comments. Tell me what you've learned from your own path. And yes, subscribe if you feel called to, but more than anything, subscribe to yourself, because the journey inward is the one that truly matters. Over time, I also learned to forgive myself for not being perfect. Perfection is a trap. It makes peace look like a prize you can only earn later. But the truth is, peace lives here, inside the mess, inside the mistakes. Buddhism calls this the beginner's mind. It means showing up each day as if for the first time, without the weight of knowing everything. It means being human again. The lotus, the sacred flower of Buddhism, grows from the mud. That image changed how I saw myself. Maybe what I once called chaos was just the soil of my own growth. Stop trying to polish everything. The beauty of life lies in what's real, not what's flawless. Today I live one day at a time. It sounds simple, but it's the hardest and most freeing practice of all. I no longer carry yesterday's guilt or tomorrow's pressure. Life happens only here, in this breath, this heartbeat, this moment. When my mind starts to race, I whisper to myself, just this moment, just this step, just this breath, and slowly everything returns to its place. The greatest peace I've found is accepting that not everyone will understand me. And that's okay. Not everyone will see my silence as calm or my choices as right, but I know where they come from, and that's enough. In the end, I realized happiness isn't a destination. It's a state of presence. Worry is a habit, and so is peace. And the life I was chasing out there was always waiting quietly inside me. You don't need a new life to be happy. You just need a new way of seeing the one you already live. Breathe gently. Speak kindly, move slowly, and trust that every time you let go of what no longer serves you, your heart becomes lighter because you're not tired. You're just ready to live differently.